exhausted. That thumbnail was exhausting to make. I dropped so many stacks of books as I was trying to set that up. And then like I had to move the stacks and I dropped some on my feet. So it's going really well. It's going really well. Anyway, hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a book haul. I figured it was a good time to do a book haul because I'm about to move into my new house. And like, this is a book haul since I've moved into the temporary house. So 2 months, about 2 months. This is a 2-month book haul, which is not great. A lot of them are from book boxes, so keep that in mind. So if you have watched all my book unboxings, we're gonna go through these very quickly. Like, the only ones I'm gonna really talk about are the ones that I like bought in store. And again, I'm gonna try to be fast. There's no rhyme or reason. I tried to go by like size, and that's how I did the stacks. But when I was moving them like away, that kind of got all completely messed up. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. I have no idea what's actually in this stack. I just picked it up off the side table. So we're gonna go through it and be surprised together. I'm curious if I'll like not remember any of these books, like buying any of them. Also, if you look very carefully at the thumbnail, there are 2 books that are not going to be talked about in this video because I actually did not buy them in the last 2 months. I just forgot that they were in my piles and they kind of just got stuck in there. So there are 2 books in the thumbnail that are not going to be in this video. So it'd be funny if you guys can figure it out. But anyway, before we start, make sure you like the video at the end of the video if you enjoy it. Make sure you comment down below what books you've kind of purchased in the last 2 months, or any library books, anything you read or anything like that, or the books that you want to get to pretty soon. And as usual, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content if you are not already subscribed. So let's get into this. It looks like a decent number of these are special editions right off the bat. So I'm currently reading A Feather So Black. So it's in my little like Illumicrate dust jacket thing. So this is literally just the dust jacket. But that is my edition of A Feather So Black. This is from Fairy Loot. I don't remember which month. I want to say it was March adult 2023. I want to say this is like one of my favorite covers. It's so pretty. I am so scared I'm gonna hate this book because the cover is so pretty. Next we have, is this an Illumicrate one? We have To Cage a God. This is also a special edition. I want to say this one does not have very good ratings. This does not have very good ratings, but it looks really, really cool. And I love this edition of the book. It looks awesome. It's got such cool features to it. So I'm still really excited to read it, even if it doesn't have good ratings. And then we have another Illumicrate. Illumicrate must have all been together. Fathom Folk. This one, I literally, again, don't really know anything about because it's an Illumicrate pick. But again, haven't heard great things about it. But this one's got a gorgeous wrapped case. Like, it looks so cool. This is stunning. I absolutely love it. Another one that I will be super sad if I don't like because it's so pretty. There are some book of the month, 2 book of the month books. We have, of course, Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I am so nervous to read it. I literally have only read Part of Your Summer, but I own Yours Truly, and now I own part of, or what is it, Just for the Summer. Part of Your World was so good. I'm terrified to read anything else by Abby Jimenez. And I also have all of her Kindle books on my Kindle now because they were all on sale for like $1.99. So I picked up the other ones, like her backlist stuff, which I heard like aren't that good, but Yours Truly and Just for the Summer apparently are really great. But I'm so scared I'm not gonna like them because my expectations are like up here after Part of Your World being one of my favorite books the year that I read it. Then we have Daughter of Mine. I actually really like Megan Miranda books. Even if this wasn't chosen for a book of the month, I probably would have picked it up separately because I really do enjoy this type of quick popcorn thriller type writing. I don't love when thrillers are super drawn out and super over the top and super long. I start losing track. I start getting bored. So Megan Miranda thrillers are pretty perfect for me. I also think this is the one that people said were like talking about it being like Yellow Jackets? Is that what people were saying? I couldn't remember if this was the one. And you never know with blurbs. Like, they could say it's like Yellow Jackets and then be nothing like Yellow Jackets. And when I say like Yellow Jackets, I mean that TV series. I don't know if people are like as well versed in TV as I am. I was joking with my husband. I was like, I should have started like a movie and TV channel, or like even just a trash TV channel. I literally woke up this morning and caught up on Vanderpump Rules in the Valley because it is Tuesday and new episodes are tonight. So my husband was like, that's what you should have done a channel. But I was like, that's a lot of work. I feel like books somehow are less work than keeping up with TV. Okay, I had to take a brief pause. If you couldn't hear my dog barking in the background, he decided he wanted to go outside immediately. And he is the prince of this household, and we just live in his little kingdom. So I have to do everything he wants when he wants it done. Or he won't stop barking now. And it's because he's old. He turns 14 in May. So tomorrow, basically, I don't know when his actual like date is, so we just celebrate on the 1st. But in his old age, he has decided he likes barking now. He likes doing everything he wants to do immediately. So we just kind of go along with it. We're like, whatever, you're old now, you can do whatever you want. So moving on, back to a special edition. I love this edition. A Tempest of Tea. I'm really excited to read this. This came from, I believe, Fairy Loot, I think. I love this edition. I love, that looks so cool. And then I love underneath, I think it looks really cool. So, and I'm really happy this, I didn't know how I liked it at first, but the more I look at it, the more I like it. Because I really do like the original copy, just like in the stores, especially like the different colorway that Barnes & Noble does. So I really needed this to look nice, to be like, okay, I don't need to also get a copy of that one. More book of the month. I think the rest of this pile, or there's one more. Let me get the other special edition. Crimson Moth. This is, I think, the Fairy Loot edition. Yes, this is the Fairy Loot edition. It's so weird. My Alcrate one is somewhere in another pile over there. It's so strange because they have two different like titles, and that is done sometimes, UK versus US titles, just based on marketing and what people like and testing audiences and stuff like that. I feel like the biggest example is the Harry Potter books with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone versus Philosopher's Stone. So totally two different covers and two different titles. So it's kind of the same similar situation, maybe. I don't really know exactly how it was decided. And I feel like I could read up on it, but I just didn't. I didn't, and I'm not going to probably, but I like this one better. This is kind of my vibe. I like the name of this one better. Everything about this I like better than the Alcrate edition of it, including the name. Rest are books that I have actually picked out. So the next one is a book of the month, Kill for Me, Kill for You. I could not tell you what this is about. I get so many mystery thrillers from book of the month. I'm actually going to stop doing that. I'm sad about it. Like this, they put out book of the month books for May this morning, and I'm getting the two sci-fi books because there was a crime fiction book that I would normally get, and then there's a mystery thriller that I would normally get. And I have to get through the mystery thrillers that I already have from book of the month. I have so many mystery thrillers from book of the month because I normally like the ones that they pick. So I'm not getting any more until I finish these, because these are the ones that take me the longest because I have so many of them. So I couldn't tell you what it was about, but I remember it seeming interesting. And then I actually originally didn't get this when this came out, but everyone has talked about it and how it's really, really fun and they really like it. So then I ended up picking it up later. So First Lie Wins. Again, don't really know anything about it, but I heard it has a really, really cool twist, and I love the green on this one. I love the look. It just looks really good. And again, another mystery thriller. Finally, non-mystery thrillers. I picked up a young adult fiction called The Revenant Games. This one looks really cool, and it has to do with like humans playing in this like competition tournament, and you can play either for the witches or for the vampires. And there's ramifications for each, and you have to like, I think it's like kill or capture someone from the other side, and there's like a romance that happens. But I thought it looked really, really cool. I like the vibes of it. I like the cover. I thought it was really pretty, and it just sounds really interesting and up my alley for like a competition story. And then we have Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. This is the fourth book in the series. What is it? This is the second Daisy Hates book, fourth in the total series, because it's Magnolia, then Daisy, then Magnolia again, and then Daisy. So this is the one I'm currently on. I am currently on the fourth book. And it kind of, the end of the third book, the end of the last Magnolia book, made me not really interested in continuing, because there was kind of like a traumatic event that happened after the last one. And was it The Long Way Home, Magnolia Parks, I think. Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, something like that. Because I think the brand new one is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, I think. Something like that. But I read the third book, second Magnolia Parks book, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about what happened. So I've just been putting it off. So I have not read this, but this is following Daisy Hates' perspective of everything that happened in the second Magnolia Parks book. I do like how they're told, like parallel sort. So I just, sounds me stressed out. And then I got this like right when it came out. I don't know if I've had this in a book haul yet, but it is the second book in the Holly Black, the what is the first one even called? I don't even remember what the first one was called. This is the second book in that little duology thing, or The Stolen Heir. The Stolen Heir, this is The Prisoner's Throne. I was planning on reading it right away, but like I started reading the first chapter and I couldn't remember like anything that happened in The Stolen Heir. So I'm gonna have to go back and reread that, or at least skim it before I start this one, which kind of sucks. This is, I think, the book I've had the longest because I actually got this back when we were still in our other house, but I kept this one out of packing because I thought I was gonna get to it, and that's probably not gonna happen. So I could have just let them pack it up, which kind of stinks now that I have to lug this around. But yeah, this is like one of the first books, I think, or like the oldest book I have here with me. That is one pile down. I'm trying to consolidate this into 3 piles. And I think we're good. I think it's just 3 piles. It just feels like a lot more books, which 3 piles is a lot. So I ended up finally picking up the 7-Year Slip. If you've been on this channel a long time, you know I'm a pretty old fan of Ashley Poston, but I've only really read the young adult books that she's put out. Like, I am obsessed with it's not the Fangirl series, that's Rainbow Rowell. It's the Geekerella. The Geekerella series is one of my favorite series. It's so cute. And then her other mini sci-fi series, I was a huge fan. I still haven't read the second book in that, but I really need to. But the first book was really, really good. And then I think I've read a couple other things, and I have a couple other things. I have the Dead Poets Society. So I was like, this one is like everyone's favorite, and it was on a deal table with this one. So it was the Barnes & Noble buy one, get one 50% off. So I ended up picking both of these up. This sounds like just a cute, fun heist book. And then this one is, yeah, time travel kind of stuff, which makes me really nervous because I don't really like time travel. But they're both romances, and I'm kind of trying to get back into reading more romance. I just have to be in a very specific mood for it. So I may do a romance vlog coming up where I read some of Abby Jimenez, some of these books, just to kind of clear them out. And romance-wise, I am part of Sid Bookworm's Patreon, and they are doing Done and Dusted for the April book, which I still haven't read it. But her live is normally isn't until the first week of May. So I still have time to read this, but I'm nervous because this is a romance book. This is romance. So I'm kind of excited though. It's different. It's like a cowboy romance, I think. But I love the covers. The covers are so cute. I love them. So I'm very excited about that. So hopefully that one will be read relatively soon. And then we have The Good, the Bad, and the Aunties. This is the book that my mom and I always read together. I don't remember when I read this or when I bought this. I feel like I read this at the very beginning of April or the end of March. I cannot remember. I think it was potentially the end of March. But my mom and I have read every single book from the series together. The first book is the Dal for Aunties series, and we're just obsessed with them. Then, for an upcoming vlog that I'm working on, I picked up Confessions. This is the book that swept BookTube for a month in 2023. Was it 2023 or 2022? I think 2023. This is a translated work, and all I've heard is how crazy and insane it is, and it's really short. So I ended up picking this up because I wanted to do a hype versus no hype book vlog, and so I'm picking this, and then I have another one that I'm currently reading right now. So I'm currently working on that vlog. Really excited to get to this. Then this was kind of like a spur of the moment buy. I feel like I don't know why I did this, but End of Story by AJ Finn. Finn? Is it Finn? F-I-N-N? Yeah, I have never read another book by this author, but oh, it was The Woman in the Window. That's why I picked it up. Okay, I've read The Woman in the Window and actually really, really liked it. So, and it says for fans of Knives Out, and it's by the same author as Woman in the Window. So I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Then we have another book of the month. Like I said, I was trying to get into romance. So I kept picking up romance books, and then I haven't read them, which is, I mean, that's on me. I need to stop picking up romance till I actually start reading them, which is, again, something I'm doing. If there's a book of the month romance, I'm probably not picking it up. Yeah, because there's a Christina Lauren that came out this month for book of the month, and I did not get it because I was like, I have so many romance books that I need to read before I get that. So I'm trying to be better. It's not going great, but it is going better. Okay, we have a couple, I think the rest of this pile, okay, no. Let me do this one, and then the rest of the pile is quick special editions. I don't know why I keep doing this. I kept seeing this in stores, and I love the cover so much, and I heard the synopsis pitched by Books with Lala, and I was like, I need it. Do I have like 4 other Emily Henry books that I have not read? Yes. Are all of them paperback? Or no, they're like a conglomeration. I have like 2 book of the months, 2 paperbacks, and now I have a random hardcover. So none of them are gonna match. I don't know why I do this. I think I'm gonna, so basically after I do the hype versus no hype, I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna read my first Emily Henry, and that's what the next video is gonna be. Okay, these last couple are special editions. So very quickly, we have Fairy Loot First Romantasy book, Lore of the Wilds. I am really excited about this. Apparently it is like unknown if this actually is young adult or adult. So I had a lot of people in the comment section saying that they've seen it in totally different parts of the bookstores, which I have also. I just think it wasn't what people were really expecting. And then of course, I feel like I've shown you guys this, Empire of the Dam, my edition from Illumicrate. I actually got a double dust jacket. It came out, I was like, why is it so thick? Why is the cover so thick? And yeah, it turned out I had 2 dust jackets on it. So I just have a spare Illumicrate dust jacket, which is fun. So that is that. I do like the edges of the first book a lot better, but I think this makes sense because, I mean, the book's just gonna get darker and darker as it goes on. So I've already started reading this. I've read like a chapter and I'm already obsessed with it, like I was obsessed with the first book. So I kind of just keep putting it off because I'm scared of what J. Kristoff is gonna do to the characters we already really like. And then the last 2 I have in this pile are our book club pick for May. So if you don't know, the Lazy Book Club is going to be reading A Fate Inked in Blood, which is a romantasy book that I didn't know about. I thought this was young adult fantasy romance, not adult fantasy romance, and you guys were tricky and voted this in, knowing full well it was adult romantasy. You guys are sneaky. You guys are so sneaky. So this is what we're going to be reading in May. This should be out at the end of May or early June for discussion, etc. And then the very last one in this pile, this cover has grown on me so much. Again, this is going to be another video. I like I said, I am trying to plan out my videos in advance and actually get through a bunch of reading. This is The Warm Hands of Ghosts, and this is actually going to be in my new video that is settings / tropes that I don't like. So reading books with tropes that I don't like is basically going to be the title of it, even though it's going to include some settings. So this is a historical fiction fantasy, so already something I don't really enjoy reading most of the time. So I thought this would be a perfect book. It's not very long. This will go really well in that video. And I have 2 others. I don't know which ones I had picked. I don't know why I keep doing this either. This is the second book that I read from Mariana Zapata. Haven't read the first one. But I kept hearing things about this one and The Wall of Winnipeg. So those are the 2 that I have. I don't know why I did this. I also don't know where The Wall of Winnipeg is. I thought I had it in this temp house. I don't know where it is, but I'm sure it's like somewhere. Again, my books get scattered around the house. I tried to collect them though and put them all in one spot like a good person. Okay, and then we have a whole series. This was actually recommended to me by my mother. So this could go either way because she and I have like super different taste, except for we overlap very like specifically with our mystery thrillers. Mostly just cute mysteries is where we overlap. These are not that. But they also sound really, really good. So we have these 3, and you can see, so I got these 2 at the bargain section, and these are like the special value ones of like $5.99 or something like that. And so these are the second 2. This is the first one. I just ordered it off of Amazon. It was like $8. So I'm pretty excited, but again, our taste is very different. So this could be very interesting. She is a historical fiction reader. She like absorbs historical fiction, and I'm sitting there like, wish I could do that. Wish I could do that. Next, I have my special edition of Destroy the Day, which means that is finished my collection of these books. I'm very excited. I still need to read the second one that I was very kindly gifted by one of my subscribers, which I'm still like speechless about. I'm still obsessed with it, and it happened like a year ago. But yeah, I got the third one. I'm excited, and now I feel like I can finally read them and not feel like the cliffhanger hangover is going to happen. So then I still don't think I like this cover. Alucard's edition of The Last Blood cover, which I don't really like the original cover either. So either way, it was whatever. But I'm not like super excited about this. This cover does not make me very excited about this book. This next one was from a Twisted Retreat box. This is Winter Harvest. This is actually going to be in that video, the reading tropes that I hate, because, and this is like, I feel like it's become a trope. The Greek retelling kind of like setting or storytelling, I feel like Greek retelling has become like a trope, depending on how you define trope, because a lot of people define trope differently. Depending on how you define it, I feel like Greek inspired things are so big right now, and they're going to continue being big, and I have rarely ever liked a Greek retelling or inspired book. So this is definitely going to go on that video. Again, it's another shorter book, so I should be able to get through it pretty fast. And then I have my copy of Bride. I actually thought I had lost this copy in the move somewhere, like it was somewhere packed up, but I ended up finding it, and the more I look at it, the more I love it, because actually when I unboxed it, I hated it. I was like, well, I didn't hate it, but it felt weird. I didn't know how I felt about it, and I love the original copy. I will be getting an original copy of the book because I absolutely adore the original copy. I'm kind of waiting to see if Illumicrates gets cheaper on Mercari so I can get a copy from there. But I actually really like the Alcrate edition of it. It's really, really pretty. And it, I just like it. I just like it. I don't think it fits what's inside the book like at all. The vibe is nothing like that, but it's still fun and I still like it. Then we have Your Blood, My Bones. This is also going to be, this is the book that I've already read for the video where I read tropes that I don't like. This has got it hints at unhappy endings and love triangle things going on. So that's kind of where I am with that one. Okay, next one is actually one that I picked up from the store because I could not walk past this book without buying it. Like, look at the cover! Also, the lighting got really dark in here, which makes me sad. Projections by S.E. Porter. Don't know anything about it other than it looks witchy and it looks really, really cool. And I'm obsessed with it, and I don't know if I should be. We're down to the last 3 books, guys. I actually like kind of got this pretty fast for like 50 books. Okay, we have the Alcrate edition of Heartless Hunter. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is the same book as The Crimson Moth. It just doesn't look as good. It doesn't like evoke like, I need to read this kind of vibes to me. It's just whatever, to be honest. And then we have a book that I have already read, actually, The Husbands. This is a contemporary fiction. I know, like, who is she? Who is she reading contemporary fiction? This is such a cool concept, though. I'm going to be talking about it in my wrap-up, so go check out the wrap-up. But yeah, this was interesting. Our main character is, like, husband swapping accidentally. Like, a husband comes out of her attic, and anytime one goes back in, a new one comes back out. So she can just like switch them if she doesn't like them. And it's very interesting what happens in the story and how it's told. And then the book that I just finished for our April 2024 book club pick, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I have to be careful about talking about this book because again, I don't want to like reveal how I felt about it since I just read it and it's going to be in a video coming up because I think this is coming out before the book club. I don't remember when I had stuff scheduled, but this is a historical fiction fantasy. I would say this is, how would you describe this book? I do think this is more on the historical fiction side, but there is a heavy dose of fantasy. It's just nothing is like spelled out for you like in most fantasy books. This relied more on you just kind of going with the flow for the magic system because it really is not explained that well. But I don't think that's really the point. The point is the time period. This is taking place in the Spanish Inquisition time period, and our main character is of Jewish descent and she has some powers and she basically has to hide herself from the Spanish Inquisition, but at the same time is getting wrapped up with this like tournament where she can maybe get like prestige and get out of being of lower class. So it's just kind of like her searching for meaning and for understanding her family and her powers and stuff that's around her. And then there's like a romance in here, and there's just a lot of stuff going on in this book. There's a lot of stuff going on. Very well written, very different from what Leigh Bardugo has done previously. So it's a gorgeous book too. This is the spray. I love the sprayed edges on this. I love how it looks. It's very, very accurate to how the book feels. So I do like that it looks how the book feels. Those are all the books that I have bought in the last 2 months, potentially 3 months. Yeah, that's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. I have not read most of them. So I hate book hauls because they like call out the worst. Like the worst behaviors. But okay, so let's quickly go over this. Most of them are special editions. I have stopped buying really special editions separately, like the big collections that Fairy Loot does, the big collections Illumicrate does. I really don't buy those anymore at all, unless I like have to have it. I used to buy them like thinking, oh, maybe I'm gonna really like, no. I only buy them if I've read it and I like it and I have to have it. So I've been really good about that. I haven't bought any of those. These just come in book boxes, which is kind of part of my channel, is doing unboxings for the book boxes. So that's kind of how I like say, oh, this is fine. This is fine that I'm having this many special editions. The stuff that I've bought separately, a lot of it is on sale. So like the AJ Finn End of Story, I got at the same time as The Familiar, and my mom bought a book herself. And it was during the buy two, get one free. So that technically was free. And then most of the paperbacks, I got part of the buy one, get one 50% off sale. And then the Winter Harvest book from Twisted Retreat was because I was a rep with them for the back half of last year, the beginning of this year. Book of the month books are really affordable if you are on a budget but you still want to buy physical books, because like some people, they don't have extra money for anything, but if you are on a budget and you have an extra $10 to spend, book of the month is a really good choice. So a lot of the books are book of the month because I don't want to buy $27.99 books. I can't. That is so expensive. So I physically can't. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It feels nice that I have this off my chest. I always get really stressed about book hauls because I don't remember when I bought stuff. I don't know when I did. So I feel like living in this temp house has like said, this is definitely what you bought while you're in the temp house. This is temp house books. So I know for a fact you've recently bought these and you don't have to sort through them, because when I buy books, I don't put them in a pile separate to then do a book haul. I hate doing that. I put them on my shelves. So when I go to do a book haul, I have to like reference, I keep a book journal. I have to reference my book journal and be like, this is what I bought when, this is, and I have to pull them off. And that's like, it's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. So probably from now on, now that I'll have my own separate reading room upstairs, like not in view, because before my library was like in view of everything, so I didn't like leaving stuff out there. So now that it's kind of out of the way, if we have guests over, they won't see like piles of things. That's what I'll probably do in the new house, is I'll have a corner where I'll keep, or a shelf even, where I put all my brand new books, and when the shelf fills up, I'll do a book haul. I feel like that's a really good way of organizing it, better than I was previously doing. So yeah, I'm excited. There's so many, like, I want to read so many books. I want to read so many books, but there's only so much time in the day. So anyway, that is everything I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this, book hauls. I do a ton of book unboxings. That tends to be what like my most popular thing is, but I'm also doing book vlogs in the background, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully when I move into my new house, there will be like a new library tour whenever I get my new library set up. So excited. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.